welcome to Dream Corner, my little series where I interpret different meanings and symbols of dreams. So today we're going to be talking about the theme of water in dreams. It's like I'm paddling upstream. No, honestly, I'm telling you, I can feel it in my waters. I don't know, I feel like I'm drowning. I just feel like I'm drowning in this. Yeah man, just go with the flow, you know? Just go with it. All of those examples are examples of how we use water in our language without really thinking about all the phrases that we've got that relate to water. So I just thought I'd drop those in there just to give you a hint of basically what water represents when we're talking about our dreams. So water is related to our emotions. If you know anything about astrology, then Neptune is a very watery planet. It's related to emotions, and so is the moon. It's also related to water and the ocean. It regulates the tides. So once we start to see these links between water, the moon, Neptune, then we start to get a deeper understanding of what water symbolizes in our dreams. Both the moon and Neptune rule and symbolize, for those of you who don't know anything about astrology, they symbolize emotions. They talk about the psyche. So it all links up. So basically, if you have a dream about water, it's more often than not speaking to you about your emotional state. Now you can have all different types of dreams. Some will be a lot more vivid, a lot more meaningful than others. But on the whole, this is what we're looking at here. So let's start with, for instance, the sea, okay? The sea is a huge expanse of water. And when we dream that we are, for instance, floating in an ocean, and there's no land in sight and we're lost, and you've always got to pay attention, by the way, to the feeling of dreams. When we feel like we're lost and there's just no land in sight, that can often be a symbol of feeling emotionally lost, emotionally out at sea. Okay, we have to look at the state of the water, the body of water as well. Is it roaring? Are there massive waves crashing over you? Or is it calm? If it's massive waves, if it's overwhelming, if it's like a tidal wave, then that's saying you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed. On some level, you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, you're feeling emotionally stressed. There's something in your life that basically is really having an impact on your sense of emotional stability. We always want to look at what state the water is in, because that's often telling us what state our emotions are in. And also, are we in the water or are we out of the water? If we're in the water, it means that right now we're being very emotionally triggered. If we're out of the water, it often signifies that we are maybe a bit more disconnected or being a lot more objective about our emotions. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it means that you're in a situation where you're able to be objective about an emotional situation without being dragged into it. So are you in the water or are you out of the water? Another interesting one is being underwater. I recently had this one myself, and being underwater and being on, for instance, the bottom of the sea. For me, I was walking along the bottom of the sea, and there were all these different creatures and beings that I'd never even seen before, that were floating around me and that I was discovering and interacting with. And for me that was very clear, because at the time I was going through very deep psychological, psychic, emotional reevaluation. And so it showed me that I was seeing parts of myself and getting in touch with aspects of myself that were alien to me, that were very hidden. So if you're deep down in the water, that can often mean that you are very deep within your psyche. You know, you're very deep in your psyche, and you might be exploring facets of yourself that are mysterious, that have been hidden, that are very spiritual, that are very otherworldly, or even connected to the collective consciousness. So that can be quite an empowering and fascinating one. Another common dream is to find that you find gems, or you're diving for stuff in your dreams. Now, if you dive for something in your dream, you come out with a shell or a gem or something that's precious, something that makes you happy in that dream. That is often a signifier that you may or may not realize that you don't, because it's to do with your subconscious. But there are hidden gems in whatever it is you're experiencing right now. There are hidden gems in your psyche. There are gifts that are being poured about, and it might take a lot of diving. It might take going through quite a big emotional experience or even psychological experience. It could be related to anything, a relationship, a move, whatever. But it might take going through quite a big experience. And although it may not seem like there's any light at the end of the tunnel, in your waking life, actually what this dream is showing you is that there are actually gems, there's something precious in this experience that will be coming to you from a place of psyche. If we dream of small bodies of water that are very contained and very restricted, and there's an uncomfortable feeling in the dream about the fact that this small body of water is restricted, or perhaps you're trying to cross the body of water and it's tiny but for some reason you can't cross, that's often a signifier that in order to get to where it is you want to go, there's certain things within your emotions, within your psyche that you're going to have to face. But right now you are restricting, you're choosing not to look there in your waking life, and that's where that feeling of restriction comes from. It's almost like you're out of touch with your emotions. I would also say that dreams of being thirsty, of being in a desert, you know, although I'll do a separate one on this, but I would say that dreams of being thirsty, of being in a desert, unless you're very hungover and what you really need to do is get up and have a glass of water, then this can often signify a lack of emotional connection with oneself, a lack of understanding of one's own deeper motivations and psychic nature. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can talk about in terms of water. I would say that if you dream of the ocean, that is always a symbol that something big is going on in your life emotionally, and you want to see what else it's interacting with. Is it one that I've had when I've had big emotional things going on is a house being crumbled by the sea, and I'll talk about houses in another one, but houses symbolize our security, our sense of safety in the world, our foundations. So what is this sea, what is the ocean affecting, or is it beautiful and crisp and pure? I mean, if you dream that you are rowing down a body of water and it's nice and easy and everything's serene, it's very much a sign that you're going with your own emotional current, and that you are working in harmony with your inner and deeper nature as well. So that's always a really positive one. If you dream that you're on some sort of a ship or vessel and it's being tossed about by water, then that is a sign that you're on some sort of journey, you're trying to achieve something, you're trying to get somewhere, but you're feeling like the road is rocky, you're feeling like it's just a lot to deal with. So it's slight overwhelmment, but at the same time you've still got a goal, you still have a direction you're heading in. It just means that perhaps the journey won't be as smooth as you had hoped. If you are on some type of vessel and it's lost, and that can often mean that your sense of direction and where you're going, even though you might cognitively be like, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do, this is what I think is right for me, it's saying that internally, something deep within you, it's not sitting quite right. Your higher self is saying to you, hang on a minute, okay, this might look good on paper, but is this actually emotionally fulfilling? Is this actually what I want from my life and for my life's purpose? Is this something that I'm actually going to enjoy? Is this going to be fulfilling? So that's another one to consider. Say you're on a vessel and you can't find land, okay? You're heading in a certain direction, but you just can't find land. And that's the feeling that the goal, the place that you want to get to is getting further and further away. Quite often that can also be a sign that you need to reevaluate. You need to take some time to really get in touch with to get in touch with not just your mental faculties but your emotional faculties. And once again, you know, is this actually where I'm meant to be going? Is there a reason why I can't find land? Is it because in actual fact I don't believe deep down that I can get there? I can't read that I can. Sorry, it's so noisy. I live in such a noisy place now. Yeah, I could be saying that there could be a belief in you, or some deep, long-held belief in you that ties in with your emotions, that says, no, I don't think we can achieve this. So then it might be time to kind of go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, it's time to clear out those old beliefs. Okay? I want you to know, by the way, guys, I interpret these things, and my understanding of dreams is from my own experience, my own research, and my own intuition and what my guides tell me. So what you might read could be very different to what I tell you, but I'm telling you what I know from the wisdom that's brought to me, and I trust my ancestors, I trust my angels, I trust all of my guides. So you don't have to take this as, as gospel, that's the one, but this is, the intuitive guidance that I'm giving to you, that is given to me. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and please leave some comments, tell me what you'd like to know more about, what we can explore together. I'm really excited to do this because it's just so much fun and I love it. Okay, thank you guys.